Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Noble's ESTOC Build guide in Elden Ring. This weapon can be pretty OP if you use it correctly. Now, what's nice is you can also use this weapon while you're using a shield, so you can block attacks and return them while you're covered by the shield, making this really powerful. Now, this also can be buffed with a variety of different weapon arts, and you can put different affinities on it, giving it frost damage or fire damage, which I'll get into in this video. So at level 150, we got 50 Vigor, 26 Mind, 42 Endurance, allowing us to do a medium roll at 56 Poise. And I also want 65 Strength to put the Heavy Affinity on it, as it's going to give us good scaling, but we can also use the Fingerprint Stone Shield, which requires 48 Strength to equip. So if you're at a lower level, just get your Strength up to that level, because then you can shield yourself and attack at the same time. And I also went with 11 Dexterity, 15 Faith, which allows us to cast some different incantations. And you can also use a few different weapons with that 11 Dexterity. So what's nice about this is we can get a B scaling on Strength and then also put different things on it. As for our talisman, I like to go with the Great Jar Arsenal. You can also go with, if you want to increase your skill art damage, we can go with Shard of Alexander or Carrion Filigree Crest. Or the Great Shield Talisman, or even the Pearl Shield Talisman are good choices as well. And then we can go with the Turtle Talisman, or if you have the DLC, the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman for regaining your stamina, which allows us to beat any boss really easily. Now, you can also put like a fire, or I guess a Blood Flame Blade on this, or a Blood Affinity if you want to, but the best damage is going to be a combination of using our Flame Granby Strength here, and then Blood Flame Blade, as this allows us to proc Blood Loss buildup, which can actually happen pretty quickly if we use the Repeating Thrust here. So that is a nice thing about it. You can also just power behind your shield here and you're safe. So you can deal fire damage and blood loss buildup all in one go here. So as you can see here, we're able to stagger pretty easily. It's a little bit trickier to get the blood loss buildup versus using something that just has it innate, but it still does a pretty good amount. So that's a nice thing. He went off the cliff there. And you can also put frostbite on this weapon too. So if you want to change up the damage type, that's a nice little benefit of that. So the biggest benefit is being able to get up in their face. And like if we get hit with an attack, you can see that we're able to block it there with our shield. So he can't even hit us, as it has full physical damage negation. Now with bosses, typically you want to fight until you get your stamina to about halfway, and then you can kind of back off. And you can lower the shield if you get out of its attack radius so that you can recover your endurance. So against boss fights, that'd be the best strategy to use with this weapon, is just get in there, deal your damage until your endurance is half, and then back off, let them attack, and regain your stamina. You can also proc frostbite on this weapon too. This weapon does pair well with the Blood and Spur Rapier, so if you get that weapon, which does Scarlet Rot, you can kind of do all three all at once. So another way you can boost this up is with going with Frostbite Grease here, so this is another way to further increase our overall damage. And I would even recommend having a dagger in the offhand that has Golden Vow, so you can add in a dagger that has that on it there, so like the parrying dagger there. But even without, we can just go in, and it's really about getting in close and just dealing your damage like this. You do attack faster if you don't use these shields, so that's another thing, is if you want to just burst them down, you don't have to use the shield. But the Repeating Thrust is a pretty nice one, although you can go with any type of weapon art. There's no real best, it's just what's best for your certain usage of it. So that is the nice thing about it, is you got a lot of versatility there. I'll go over some different weapon arts that you can apply to this weapon just to make it a little bit stronger in different ways, but Repeating Thrust is very solid overall. However, it does have a lot of choices, so Impaling Thrust is nice for closing the distance between enemies really quickly. Cragblade will increase your damage and the posture damage that you do. I also really like the Divine Beast Frost Stomp, and you can put a cold affinity on that naturally. Even Chilling Mist is nice because you can put the cold affinity on the blade this way as well. Using something like Seppuku will also give it blood scaling, but you can also not use that and just go with a heavy scaling, and then also using this weapon will increase the blood loss buildup of it. So Poison Mist is another option that you got. So lots of great ones. Even like the Flame Spear is another one that I really like, because this will put fire damage on it. Or Flame Skewer is another great one if you got the DLC. And you can even go with like a Flame Art, which is going to scale off your strength. As you can see there, we got some, or I guess going with the just the fire affinity here actually scales a little bit better off of our strength. So we can go this route as well. And it'll deal a good bit of damage, just built-in fire damage. So that is the nice thing about it. You can see there we got some fire damage built up. So very effective weapon overall, because there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. With the Chilling Mist, you can literally just use the weapon art and it'll give you the ice damage. So that is a great way to boost your damage even further. You can also use the Rod and Wing Sword Insignia for your weapon art or for your talisman, because it does boost up the damage pretty greatly, because we do attack very quickly. So when you do successive attacks in a row, you can literally just see your damage number start to rise quickly. So that is another nice benefit of that. So we can block damage there and continue to scale up our damage until our endurance is about halfway there, and then it's best to kind of stagger off of them. But yeah, this weapon is very strong, and estoc is bestoc. So yeah, if you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.